Oh, we are so back. Let's go. We're joining the Rapid Arena. We're joining the Rapid Arena. We're going to play a little slower and more instructive today. We're so back. Let's go. Let's get a game in here. First opponent. Shrianch. 45-3. It's been a minute. I was away this weekend. How's the stream looking? Good. Oh, yes. Gambit glasses. On. Goring Gambit accepted. Opponent wasting no time. Immediately rattling off moves. So. Queen d5 attacking here and here wouldn't be the best because queen e7 defends them both. And then I think they just go here next to drive me away. I could take first. King takes, check. And then grab the bishop. That's probably what I'm leaning towards. The thing is, if I go queen b3 right now queen e7 isn't so bad of a move because it's not jamming in their bishop, right? So, for example, knight takes c3, knight f6. I'd have to castle before going knight d5. I think I need to go for this. I think this is the antidote, or else bishop c5 is actually just a very good move. I think I need to take this. And then we're going to give this check and take back the bishop. And we will shave our pawn deficit down to 1. Yeah. Takes, check. So that's why, like, queen d5 didn't work right away to attack here and here, but we just changed up the order a little bit. Something I could have done, actually, last turn is thrown in this check. g6 and then just take the bishop. That could have been potentially very smart because, well, I'm recapturing on b2 here. Would be much more brutal after knight f6 if that pawn were one step up. They go queen e7. Of course, that option wouldn't be available to them at all if that rook were hanging. So, missed opportunity on my part. Takes, knight takes, bishop g7, rook g8. It's probably bad for me because they take on g2 at the end of that line. So, why don't we give this check? See what's going on here. I think they should play queen f7. Unless they want to keep this option open. But still, I have bishop c3 to deflect it. What's up, Peak? 6R8. How y'all doing? So they play queen f7 here. And again, we need to dodge this queen trade. No interest in swapping them. Check at the end. It does nothing. So, where to go? It's important to choose the right spot. Here, attacks g7, but just that's fine. Let's go to h4. Still seems like generally aggressive where this king is. Remember, the king can't castle because we took and it moved. So knight f6, it's a good move, but no worries. They are not threatening to castle. d6. Okay, so we want to look towards doing something. What to do? Probably e5 as a break. Makes the most sense. Based off of that, I think we should just play rook e1. Seems simple enough. Bishop g4 can't really be played because I would take and grab it. Although maybe they grab this rook at the end of that line. Bishop e6 seems kind of annoying. Based off of that. Queen h5 they can't play because it takes. Bishop g4. Oh, I was just talking about that. So, okay, they're testing me. Takes, queen takes f6, right? Now I could take this without the knight on the board. Then they would take on a1. What's going on? Do I have a good follow-up there? Maybe not. I go queen e6, check, they come back. Is that kind of the end of the line? I can go knight d2 to attack the queen. And they would just come back. So, takes gets me nowhere, potentially. So, by that logic, I mean, the other hit is e5. Takes, and this is check, which would be bad for them. So, they would go d takes, and then I would go knight takes. And then they would go knight takes. And then I would go either rook or bishop takes. That's probably what we should do. I could start with knight g5 right now. No, but then queen h5. So yeah, because the rook is hanging here, let's just go with e5. And again, they still can't run away. Name is Tarek. 6 as in T minus 8 as Q. In some weird language I'm using. Well, you're wrong. It definitely matters. I can call you Tarek. Unless I'm pronouncing that wrong. Tariq? What is the weird language? Do tell. Alright, how do we want to take this? Bishop takes. Allows for king slides out the way. Other option, rook takes. Again, king slides out the way. Here, I mean, I have like bishop a3 check and another invasion. Let's go bishop takes. Again, they can't castle. If they could castle, my moves would be completely different. But they can't. And I keep this annoying idea, in addition to discovery in general, this annoying idea of potentially taking here. So bishop e6, I think, was obligated. And now I think I'm just going to play knight c3 behind it. Unless I can, like, take... Well, take queen takes, I would just trade queens and grab the bishop. So they should go pawn takes. Then I could attack the bishop, right? So, like, queen e4, they go king d7, and then I would, like, take this. On the other hand, it's kind of a lot without developing this. It could be the best. Like, takes, because queen takes, I would just trade queens, grab the bishop, and win. Pawn takes, let's say queen e4. Again, I'm going to grab the bishop. King e7, what I do, I'd just go fishing. That is definitely also winning. But I think this is just, I feel bad just not developing this. So I'm just going to go with this. Alright, now I think we're going to go with this. Now we're going to go with this. c6, they play. Not very smart, I don't think. Well, okay. Thing is, takes, how are we attacking the bishop, right? That's the big question. So let's say like queen c4, king, no, but it's all winning. King d7, I have this check. So they should go to e7, but that's still in the pin anyway. Honestly, I could just play rook e3 and rook e1. That's a very simple mechanism. Might just be the simplest to just do that, actually. Just like, no, you're not going anywhere, you know? Like, yeah, takes was probably very good. So is this? Unless I just asked for this. I didn't actually see it. No, but they didn't either. So now, because knight d5 is imminent, I think I should take it. If queen takes, I give this check. And then king can't really run over there in any case, because I could just trade and grab the bishop. And otherwise, I'm not too scared of them holding a blockade here, so they might have to go pawn takes. Right. Now the question is, do they want bishop d5? Okay, let's go. Let's track them down. Check. They do go with this. Okay. Now, how do I want to scoop it up? I could just come here. Probably makes more sense to play like c4, rook d5. Yeah, this is actually my favorite move. Because, isn't that a nice move? Because now I can just take it and I just checkmate the king, just controlling all three of these files. Even though we are, oh, we're only one pawn down. So the king has to step up. In which case, we've got a couple options there. Probably just rook d3 and then taking it. Yeah, this was the best choice. Because or else, like, maybe they can go here and maybe run away behind these pawns. Here we cut off all escape, and then this rook's just gonna kill you. Yeah, they didn't get a chance to bring these out. Hoo. Spent a lot of time there, but I think we did end up choosing the best options. What's up, Titillated? How you doing? Got the chat box cooking. Was this an Alpin? No, it was a Goring Gambit. It was a Goring. I'll show you right after. So king d6 played. And yep, I think this is the easiest finishing touch. It could have gone check, maybe simpler, because rook e7 and queen takes b7. I don't think there's a spot for the king to stop them both. Now, do they run away this way? I don't know. Maybe this wasn't the best. King e7 check. No, we got him. This is the key move, check on either c5 or b4. Just so like they don't, I don't know. It's all lost. Like you're not gonna even get away with any of that. King7 takes rook d8 for instance. Just queen c7. I take the rook. What are your favorite? It's Tim. I got you. Now my opponent's the one thinking. Here, this was the game. I'll review it while they think about this. So, Goring Gambit. Big fan of this because it's just better than the Danish. The Danish would have you play d4, takes, and then c3. And there for black, there's a lot of ways out to either play d5 right away, or after taking them, play d5 here, or take again and play d5. It's a way out almost every time. Here, any d5, you know, allows e takes d5 with a tempo on the knight. And knave 3 is a move you need to play anyway. So having those two moves included makes a big difference. Queen e6 played here. And how best to handle things. So rook d5, king e7. It's an easy move to make in 2 seconds, but what's your next move? Potentially stronger is queen b4. No, I mean, if it's good in 2 seconds, maybe it's just good. King e7, queen c7, king f8, rook d8 is just a simple way to win. Again, just simple patterns of the pieces. Like I was just like being like, yeah, let's control these files. Here, I'm just like check and check. All right, let's just roll them down like this. We discoordinate the rooks. That will be mate on e8. On f8, it will temporarily expand the game. It was worth a shot. I don't think there was anything you could do at this point. This will be checkmate. GG. So, can have a look. Yeah, I mean, Goring very strong because my next move here can often be like queen b3, just hitting f7 right away in such a way that doesn't just allow an 85, right? We keep control of that square, and we hit f7 right away. There's no h6 with the bishop there. Can draw out some uncomfortable queen e7 or queen f6. Then the knight recaptures and pounces in, hitting all that. And so it's a ton of fun. With bishop c5, it allows me to grab f7 and give this check, which is nice. And so it really shaves down the pawn deficit and bars castling forever. Queen takes c5 was okay, but yeah, I think a little bit better was first check here, right? So if you want to step there, then I can go check and take like that and not even be down a pawn. But then g6 now takes, right? Because you look at the game, they play cb2, bishop e2. So at least, you know, they're up a pawn, but their position's very bad. They can't castle. They move their king. They can't castle. If I had the pawn on g6, this would be even better. But okay, I didn't allow for queen e7. I gave that check, queen f7, right? They didn't want to move the g pawn. So in here, so we develop, but it's like, okay, now what? What is like even your goal in developing? Like, what are you looking for? You're not trading queens. I could just take this. So it's just really impossible to play for black. And now I have this nice e5 strike. Take with the additional resource of maybe taking the knight and taking that bishop. Right, so they're developing, but it's like hard. You need to be able to tuck the king under the rook. You need to be able to get a manual castle because I just blew open the center of the board. And it's hard for your king to escape the center of the board. Bishop e6 played. It was a mistake, but I think it's all pretty bad. Just an c3, anything's really winning. Just easy developing moves. Take there, rook d1. I mean, the evaluation is just ballooning to +5.5 here. And yeah, like I said, I think almost all lines win, but this was best. And importantly, like, you can't just really putz around, like, and allow this to happen, then you would be down a pawn. So, like, yes, a lot of things are winning, but, you know, you need to be able to make sure you're playing dynamically. Queen c4, I think this was a pretty classy way to end the game with all these things here. Okay, queen b4 check was even stronger, but this... I got a blunder from going to mate in 7 to +7, which is pretty brutal. Anyway, check here, and we rolled him down for a nice little mating pattern. GG. Long live the Goring Gambit. Let's solve with that, Cold Facts 4, thank you for the follow. Where did you get that chessboard you use in your promo? Alright, I'll tell you something. It's not even mine. It was a gift my friends and I got for another one of my good friends, who in turn let me borrow it when I was staying at their place to record that promo. It's a very nice set, right? But I don't even remember. That's the truth. It's very nice, and I still play on it when I go over to his. So where did you get yours if you have the exact same? How's the boxing going? Also, I have a big secret to tell you guys. So, well, thank you. I saw the other part of that. You look very strong these days. I've been working very hard. I've been boxing every day. And I look not too bad in the ring and such. You know, I can share some of the footage with y'all. Unfortunately, in a totally non-boxing related incident, I broke my ankle this weekend in 2 places. So, like right now, I'm talking to you with a broken ankle, and I just saw the ortho today. So, we're still looking to be healthy in time for Serbia, the World Chess Boxing Championships. However, it'll be trickier now. I just saw the ortho today, and debating between surgery. I'll keep you all updated throughout this, but you know me, I work very hard, and I look forward to the rehab part of this. The not being able to walk right now part really sucks. It really sucks. It's really tough. But I work very hard, and so my rehab will be intense. You know me. And I look forward to getting back in the ring. We're going to come back stronger. We're going to do it. We are going to do it. You know, it's really tough. It was just when things were looking actually very good. But these things happen. Well, it's my first broken bone, actually, believe it or not. It was even my first x-ray. I've been quite lucky. It's a hell of a time to break it. So we step here, bring our rook under, and bring back our king for castle. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate all the well wishes in the comments, you guys. Megalodon subscribed at tier 1 on Twitch. Much appreciated. Mucho apreciado. This dude has been pretty annoying. Maybe they take and I play h3. And play h5, take. Yeah, appreciate y'all. Do you remember when I helped with your setup? Yes. What were we talking about again? How did the injury happen? Great question. So, do any of y'all know the game show Survivor? My friends and I are big fans. I wasn't on the show, unfortunately. I've applied, but I wasn't selected. I need to apply again. Both their pieces are good. The bishop there, the knight there. We need to get rid of all these dudes. What we did was my friend, there and a couple other people organized like a recreation of the show. It was actually really cool. They did a phenomenal job with that. Like a really phenomenal job. Challenges, tribal council. You know, my friend, he was Jeff Probst. Unfortunately, the very first challenge, like competing while like running and sharply changing direction, very first challenge there, and I was really excited to play Survivor because I've been a fan of it for so long. It was a very well done recreation. But I was running, changing direction, and there was like this mud patch. It had been raining, you know, that morning or the night before, and I didn't see it, and I slipped on it. And my foot gave out. And I still finished the challenge. And my tribe won that challenge. As a result, probably not advisable to have still finished that challenge. Nevertheless, that's what happened. But yeah, no, as soon as I like dropped off those puzzle pieces, I was like, oh my god, I am in incredible pain and I cannot put weight on this. I don't know how I just did that. Because I felt it happen in the middle. Yeah. And I thought like I just rolled it. You know, we were doing like rest, ice, compression, elevation, rice, as they say, for like a rolled ankle. And I got an x-ray, like I was like, oh, just to be sure. Over 24 hours later. And I was shocked and devastated that it was broken. I really was surprised. I really was. I really didn't think so. And it was broken in 2 places. My left ankle. So, yeah, and I was in Georgia. In, like near Atlanta. So, I gotta go politics or else I go here. So, yeah, I just got back to New York late last night. got to go through the wheelchair security line my friends took me through in the Atlanta airport. Which was a first for me, and getting to board first. I will say, the wheelchair security line was still packed in the Atlanta airport, and there wasn't one other person there who had a cast or a splint or crutches. So, I don't, you know, not sure everyone needed to be in a wheelchair. None of my business, though. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I saw the ortho today, the orthopedist. And the thing about my situation is that it's not like a slam dunk surgery or not surgery. Like, it could kind of go either way. And he advised in favor of surgery. And I could even do that tomorrow. But probably want a second opinion. Although we got to get ready for the World Chess Boxing Championships, you know? It's in 3.5 months. So, you know, we're going to rehab intensely once we get to that stage. You know me. I'm very, very driven. What's up, Enigmine, moderator? Bad for the fitness, great for the stream. True. Very true. I will not have much to do while I'm immobile other than sit here for y'all. Why are we playing a Sicilian now? No. I could go here and do that, but no thank you. Thank you. I will play a better Benoni. Yeah, this is actually worse than this, as I understand it. Good to have the pawn here. Good to have the pawn there. What do I want to do with you? Where are we going? Could go anywhere. Could go anywhere. Push through the pain. Yeah, that's me. That is me. I am absolutely the type to do that. I, like, yeah, really push myself in all things. Including to a fault. Probably better off going here. Just to break this pin. Knights can come d5 now. But okay, I'll put my bishop on f4. Should be pleasant. Like, this is no good. Should be on g7, right? Just come here. Okay, gotta make sure there's no c4, b5. So, okay. That one handled. And then I don't want to deal with c4 either. I twisted my ankle so bad one time on a bit of plastic lying on the floor. It was a mind the wet floor sign. Brutal. That is brutal. That's actually pretty funny. In a sadistic sense, though. That's a good move. Because the bishop needs to come back here. Like, I would have loved to come back to h2. Alas, then bishop f6. But okay, as long as I have an a4 in that position, should be fine. Otherwise, now I'll play h3 with the bishop unable to retreat. Takes. Okay, that was their follow. That makes more sense. Okay. We'll just bishop e2 and we'll trade it. No, I mean, very reasonable stuff. But bishop f6 here, I think I would play knight e4. Like, their bishop is the problem if their position is just jammed this way. It needs to come to f6. Not sure they need to take it. Okay, yeah. This is good outcome. Now, okay, we just double on the E line, or we just want to send this knight towards f5, right? Send the knight towards f5. Let's play, okay. a5 or a4 is always a fun idea. But let's just play rook e2 and rook e1. Simple stuff. It's hard to say what they should have done exactly. This structure in general is pretty tough for black. I think what they did is reasonable, but I'm fine with the swaps that happened. Their light square bishop was a good piece. Knight e5 it allowed for that. Okay, bishop f8. Can I make this hard for them? Bishop g5, knight d5. Yeah, they want to have it. This is another idea. Let's say knight d1, bishop f8, knight e3, g6. Well, okay, I have to deal with this. So let's go here. Keep bishop f8 difficult. Next move b3, so I don't lose this. And then I want to look towards this maneuver. Okay, b5 played. Well, what's cracking about just increasing the pressure? Like queen 3? Knight come in there. It's always an interesting ploy. Alright, let's go trade. Let's improve the one piece that's doing nothing. Did I have knight takes b5? Maybe. Queen takes b5, trade. And then rook a1. No, I would have needed like h3 to not get mated there. There was also queen b2. I don't need to give them any counterplay. This knight's not really doing anything. Knight e4 is interesting. Knight takes e4, queen takes e4. That's not working. Let me just take. Would have worked if they had knight takes e7. Am I missing something? Trade rook a1? No. I just defend this knight any number of ways. Well, it's kind of a shame. I kind of wanted to demonstrate something else a little bit. Like some nice like pressure, you know, building all that on the poor bishop that was stuck there, pressure here, then here as like the final drop pressure, and there's nothing that bishop could do. So looking forward to sharing that, but okay. I mean, I think they played a pretty interesting game, but they just kind of missed that. After knight takes d5, I could just go queen takes and defend. Okay, GG. What weight class am I in? I weigh about 157 right now. You know, that's as high muscle mass as it goes. As low body fat as it goes. But I would still try to, you know, if it was, what, like 64, 69 kilos. Like I could get 5 or 7 pounds under if I need to get under a weight class or something. Yeah, I've heard about continuing to have ankle problems. It sucks. It's my first ever one, and it's just like... It is unfortunate, but with good rehab, we can come back stronger with it. And I'm gonna try. I know the other big issue is just the months of inactivity, weakening your fitness and your other muscles. And for me, that's like almost the hardest part, just sitting still. Like I have trouble just like taking a rest day, you know? Now I'm gonna have to take a lot of them. But we're gonna order those seated cardio machine, maybe. I think I'm gonna look for one anyway. And you know, in spite of the broken ankle, we can work on all of our other muscle groups. We'll see, we'll see. By the way, this has been a nice little demonstration here so far. I quite like my position of what to do against these setups, although, you know, this looks a little intimidating with f6 coming and bishop h6. The thing is, well, knight d4, are you going to ignore c2? No, I don't think their attack was that good either. Now, ooh, we have a filthy idea of going check, so do I just take this pawn? Is it that good? Bishop trade could be good. Let me mute this. Where are we going? Take, check. King. F1. Then I just need to sneak in here, right? Oh, but then knight takes b5. Oh, this is good. This is good. Yeah. Take. Check. If king f1, at minimum I have knight takes b5, and then check here. Right, because the pawn's on h3, it actually allows for queen h4 check to be very strong. If pawn were on h2, then it would support g3, just deflecting my queen, right? It would defend and hit my queen. Alas, now I have check. So if they go king d2, what do we got? At minimum, yeah, I wouldn't have even taken that. At minimum, I have check, forcing knight e2 and take the bishop. So I'm not losing a piece in any case. At maximum, because we don't talk about minimums too much here, do we? At maximum, check knight e2. All right, check here. Check. King f1 is forced. And probably then just knight takes b5, honestly. So something even stronger. I could take on b5 now. I might just do this. Take on b5 now, because if they take, then queen f4 ends the game, right? I'll mate them either on f2, if they go here or here, or I will mate them on c3. So we're just going to snag our piece, and then just keep attacking. Oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, here, that's mate. Here, that's mate. We got him. No, I mean, this was a terrible position anyway. You're down a pawn, and you're just completely screwed. I think this was a kind of a clinic on how to attack in these structures, because this is everything I advise to do against Vienna's or against, you know, f4 hits in general, right? Ouch. I just rolled the chair onto my ankle. Not onto my ankle, onto my walking boot. But, okay, knight c3, bishop c5, right? We start out with bishop c5, and what do? As soon as we don't see knight f3, I mean, okay, we do this anyway. But when we play f4, we play now d6. We don't take the pawn. Don't take the pawn is step one of playing against any f4 stuff in king's pawns, or f5 if you're white. Don't take it, right? They want that to happen. You know, yes, there's crazy stuff with check here, etc. That's what they want. Like here, this, here, like what white has a lot of fun here. They can actually play knight 3. They can take this. They get a very nice center and such, or they can play knight 3, you know, e5, d4, etc. Don't give them all that. Just play d6. Just hold this pawn right here, and then it's like, okay, why'd you play f4? All you've gotten is the bishop comes to c5, and then immediately right after that we play d6 with the bishop on the other side of this door, right? So we have this nice solid pawn chain. We're stopping d4 as a break with that, boom and boom. And so the bishop streaks down this diagonal uninterrupted by the f2 pawn, stopping castling forever, as long as the bishop can operate here, right? And what you can do, if you want, is include this nice move a6, so that knight a4 you can play bishop to a7 and stay on this diagonal. In the game here, white plays knight f3, and we continue with knight to c6, defending this pawn, and also stopping d4, further solidifying our control there. My opponent challenges me immediately with bishop to b5. Right, so again, because it can put d4 back on the table, and because it can also make me lose that pawn, what I do is I play this move knight to e7. That's why I also delay development of this knight for a long time in this line, right? Like, my next priorities here in the position are probably to play a6 and to play bishop to g4 like I did in the game. a6, so that knight a4, I could still play bishop a7, keep that bishop on the board, streaking down on the g1 square, stopping castling forever. Bishop to g4, because I want to follow with or without bishop takes f3, with knight to d4, with either a pin or attacking the queen. And it's still, you know, you're still not going to be able to castle through that. And then the queen can also have fun ideas on h4. The knight coming to e7 becomes very important because also, if I don't do that, if I do anything else, they can just make that capture themselves. And after pawn takes c6, I don't have knight d4 ever again. And white here is probably going to be completely fine because without knight d4, white can actually take the time to prepare a long castle and get out of this unscathed. And then the f4 pawn can start to look okay as either trading to open up the f-file or to play f5 and clear, you know, the way for some kingside expansion. So they have that time to easily play queen e2. When it's not easy to play queen e2 is if there's a knight that could jump into d4, right? So let's say they play this with, like, okay, they played d3 anyway in the game. They can't really take this pawn because knight takes e5. It looks like they get away with that. But, well, if not queen d4 right away here, even just castles can be very strong. Now the knight is hit without the pin. Let's say you take on c6 and I recapture here. No, this is just kind of a complete disaster because I can play f5. I can open another file with the bishop pointing this way. You're not castling in any direction, queen d4 or queen h4. It's really going to get you after f5, and the rooks will kill that king that's just stuck in the center. So not really an option to take that pawn, and otherwise the knight supports the knight to get into d4. So in the game here, they play like a logical move d3, and it looks like, you know, they have a kind of a nice, pretty setup. They've brought out their pieces and such, and they're getting ready. But getting ready for what? Getting ready for what? You're not castling this way. And if you're playing something like queen e2, right, like we just talked about, now I castle to undo the pin here. And my next move is going to be like this knight to d4 resource, hitting the bishop, queen, bishop here, or sorry, knight, bishop, queen, pawn, right? If you play bishop e3, okay, I have other resources like take f4 to distract you, potentially, knight d4. Or, you know, even just this takes, and either maybe pawn takes over here. And, you know, not fun. Not fun to find squares here. Check, I can even trap that bishop here, c6, b5, fork. So. In the game, they play h3, right? Which makes a lot of sense, because queen takes f3. So they're actually playing okay, and the position's pretty equal. All right, queen takes f3. This looks nice to clear the way for some nice expansion on the king side here, and maybe to castle imminently. Their problem, though, is that after I castle, now I'm really ready to play knight d4. And the move they had to find here was this move, knight to e2, which is a tough retreating move to play, but this move is just so strong. And it does allow me to play this move f5, so I would still keep fighting and try to cause them some problems. But they should probably be able to escape with the long castle, albeit not the way they wanted. I would probably be getting this square in the end. In the game, they play this move f5, which looks nice, right? Because their problem is like bishop e3, and then maybe, you know, I can take it, queen takes, and then like maybe I can take again and play f5, right? There's a lot of things that can open up in their face. And so it makes a lot of sense that they'd want f5. It looks visually appealing, opening the bishop all the way this way, maybe queen g3, bishop h6, maybe just f6 as your next move, right? But this knight d4 is just kind of an absolute monster. The engine's saying, like, you can give it a shot. Queen g4... give this a shot. Well, queen g4, why not queen g3 then? Takes e2, takes a1. Do you have anything? f6, knight g6, knight d5. I don't know. Give it a shot. Like, okay, it's -2.5, so it's probably not it. Here, well, not g6. Maybe g6, but then I don't know. This pawn now is pinned, and so I would have to go rook fishing. And potentially the tables could turn a little bit. But it's objectively not very good. Yeah, so they play queen d1 all the way back to defend this. Yeah, it's tough. Where does the queen go? Queen to defend it here. No, I just take it and hit the queen. Right, and even if that bishop weren't there, I could grab the rook. So, yeah, tough situation. Queen d1, and now this is a serious setback. And this type of position where sacrifices just start to work. Right, like even if my best move here were just like d5, just trying to open the center. This is still a very nice position. Okay, the engine's recommending h4 just to take away queen to h4 check to put the rook involved. But yeah, you're not castling short with the bishop here. You're not castling long. You know, you just played queen d1. And hard to get that queen off the back rank again with the overwhelming pressure on c2 combined with this. I have two very, very good pieces. Fortunately for me, these things are working in this position. Okay, even better was taking and... Okay, then doing it in a second? I don't know. But, I mean, this is very strong. Takes check. Oh, interesting. It's saying white is okay if they go with king f1, then takes, then knight e4. Who'd have thunk it? Suddenly the knight jumps to e4, stops mate on f2, stops the whole attack in its tracks, and bishop to g5 could trap my queen next turn. And pressures the bishop, and puts f6 on the table. It's like the best piece you've ever seen. It's the best piece you've ever seen. If I play like h6 here, f6, whoa. How the turntables. Then g3 could trap my queen, also because of this knight. Wow, wow, wow. So I needed to take it now so that... Wow. Interesting. Here, so king f1. And saying even just like stay down a piece. Because knight e4 otherwise would be so strong. It's crazy. Supporting bishop g5, g3, yeah, f6, and guarding mate on f2. That's something. That is something. But so king d2, a huge mistake, and allows me to go for, well, a number of options here. Check and take g2 apparently was the most effective. This was also a very safe option, just to be up a piece, not down a piece, and up a pawn with an excellent attack. And it also gave them the option to blunder checkmate, as they did here with knight takes b5, check, and well, mate on b4 or f2. So, in conclusion, that was a lot to say for a 14-move chess game. But what to do against all Vienna's, bishop's openings, anything, king's gambit, you know, here, right? You can also even play bishop c5 here and just d6. There's one other option they have with like c3 and d4. But, okay, you can even play around this. It's really not the end of the world. c3, just knight c6. If they play d4, you can just take it, even come back b6, attack this pawn, attack this pawn. It's actually pretty fun. In conclusion, just play bishop c5, just play d6, don't take that pawn. Similarly, if you're white, here, don't take it. And get them on that diagonal. Knight c6, support it if necessary. Bishop to g4, a6 so that the knight a4 you can tuck it back. And just get them with the pressure with knight to d4. Let's get back to the arena. Tournament pairing's now closed. Oh, we've been talking for a long time. Pizza without cheese or burger without beef. I am vegetarian, actually, so I'd go with pizza without cheese. I don't even know what that is. It's just like fried dough and tomato sauce. Burger without beef sounds like how I have every burger. As long as there's like a black bean patty or a mushroom patty. But preferably a black bean one. What do I think of the ruse donk gambit in the French? e4, e6, d4, d5, e5, c5, knight f3, cx, d4, bishop d3. Seems very valid to me. What are you doing there? Knight c6, you're just going to castle. Are you like going to play bishop b2 to try and get the pawn back, or are you just going to play like c3? No, that stuff's totally valid. Like, even like, it looks like that protected pass pawn they have can be extremely strong. But it can also be, like, really hard to play for black. And really easy to play for white. Like, c3, knight takes c3, queen 2, bishop f4, bringing rooks to d1 and c1. No, it seems totally valid to me. I mean, that starts looking very similar to any, like, advanced French gambit. Where, you know, you just let them play knight c6, queen b6. And just take a few times on d4, right? Which is also valid. I have to say, this vertical look makes no sense. If someone watches on their phone, they can just watch in landscape mode. Well, it's not totally how that works. The rest of us are watching with a 70% black screen. So, you can watch on Twitch right now. I'm double streaming. Twitch is computer-sized. YouTube is phone-sized right now. The link is in the description. Sorry, you don't like it. How to get a girlfriend? Wow, best question yet. Probably stop watching this channel. Response. Shoot your shot. The worst she can say is no. Better advice than I gave. No, she could be crazy and stalk you. Not sure that was the problem. Can I play the Jerome Gambit? Sure. Are there any exercises? Are you allowed to request gambits? Yeah, you can. Are there any exercises I can do? Yes. Oh, wait. Oh, let's join an arena. What do we got? Let's do... You guys want 3, 5, or 10? Should we do... 5? Let's do 5. Bing. We joined just in time to play Jurgen 19661. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. We've got our favorite, the Grafe attack against the delayed London. Let's trap this bishop. They never see this. They never see this. They never do. They always walk right into it. They play knight f3, and then they're pre-moving bishop f4 and e3. Little do they know, these moves were very secret to prepare g5, both defending this square. Now after g5, we've deflected this bishop away. We're playing h5. We're trying to trap that bad boy. That's why we didn't just play h6 to play g5. Our knight on e4, what else is it doing? What else is it doing? It is pressuring that bishop. So now the bishop needs a square by like moving this pawn, right? To have that h2 square, but it can't do that in one turn. As soon as you play h3, now I take it, f takes g3, that pawn becomes extremely weak, and we have made that happen. So here you see, now I take on g3, and now I'm going to attack g3. So I would play bishop d6, but there's knight e4. So let's be smart about this and start with d5. So now potentially bishop d6. There's a check. Do I care? I want to force knight f1 or king f2. If I play f5, queen e2, and queen f2. So yeah, defending this is annoying. I think bishop to g6 just gives them an additional problem. Because I play king e7, then you defend this pawn. Yeah, then I play f5, and then I just trap the bishop where it stands. Right? So I don't think that's something you want to do, honestly. If I'm being real, you probably shouldn't do it. So let's just play c5 and keep striking around here. Yeah, this is not what you wanted as a London player. You wanted a nice, pretty looking bishop there. And that's not what you're getting. Queen e2 is a little bold. I expected c3. Queen e2, they want to not have to play king f2, right? They want to be able to play queen f2. I expected c3. They could play c3 if I play queen b6 now. And here, again, c3 to not get it trapped. If I play c4, bishop g6, king e7, then they would need... Well, maybe they're trapped. Maybe they're trapped. Because I'm actually now... Before I was afraid of bishop g6, now I'm like forcing them to do it. Because... Do I go here or here? I think it's all the same. You can't come out. You gotta like take your way out. I want to play f5 and just trap you. f5 just queen f6. You don't have bishop c2 as an escape. Yeah, I think that was necessary. Could they have played e4? But then I play rook h6, right? That's why I played king f8 instead of king e7. So I think what they did is what they had to do. Should I play f5 here? No, here maybe h5 could be played after. So okay, let's take it. Queen takes g4. Another reason why I stepped over to f8, because I didn't want any queen g7 in this position. So, okay, a few options here. But nothing intimidating for white. Nothing intimidating at all. In fact, I have a number of ways to strike at this queen. Of course, h6, queen g7 is what they want. e5 is an option. Or g8's an option. 5, queen moves. Because I want queen b6. But I can't just, like, totally ignore them and just allow them to waltz right in. So, therefore, what to do? Alright, let's play F5. I think it's fine. Queen G6, and then I'll just come across here. Was it the most ideal way to play? Maybe not, but I think it's simple enough. Yeah. My next move is Queen F7. Queen H7 even. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, they just don't have any other pieces in this attack, so we're chilling. Come here. Let's play an C6 though. Queen D8 was what I had to watch out for. It's defended. I'm probably just gonna finish my development a little bit. This we don't want. Could I just take it? Is there any reason why not? Take, Queen F6. Again, a queen can't attack just by herself, right? Especially when there's nothing really unprotected. Like Queen F6, I can just even slide over King E8. Yeah, and they're realizing that. So, Queen G7. King F7 I also was probably actually the most solid choice there. To just guard all the squares. But yeah, really nice structure. Clean piece ahead. No reason I couldn't have taken that last turn, actually. Let's just shift this guy into the game. Yeah, really brutal opening. Really, really brutal opening. That they never see coming. They never do. Or a clean piece ahead, even if that piece is the light square bishop. Now we'll just maneuver him around. Don't want E5. Don't want like something more aesthetic. Should play faster whatever I do. A4A3. It's compelling actually. A4A3 is a way to break through if they just completely ignore. Takes and bring the bishop to B2 is another idea. I could also just like play E5 or maneuver my knight for real. And that's what I wanted. That's mate, believe it or not, with the bishop controlling these two squares and the rook controlling that square. Wow, that's pretty. That is pretty. Let's have a look. Thank you, Eric Blair. Memchick, how's it going? Appreciate the follow from Memchick. Sean subscribing. Megalodon Tier 1 subscribing on Twitch. Appreciate you. Love this line. Love this line. So what do we do against this delayed London? So they play knight f3 and then bishop f4, right? Mostly they play bishop f4 right away first, but not mostly. Sometimes they do this one as well. And then I love to play c5, queen b6, and then the London immediately attacking here and b2, which they left unprotected. And it leads into lines in the London Crusher 9000 as featured on my channel here. If they follow this line, we play c takes d4, lose our rook, and then get him with like e5, bishop to b4 check. Really, really fun stuff. Otherwise, they play knight f3 here. They actually keep everything defended and solid. What do? We play e6, which is innocent enough and can transpose to a number of other things. Bishop f4, now knight e4. Best move for white is knight d2 here, challenging this knight right away, after which we play d5, and this is also covered in the original Grafe attack video against the London. most people here are just gonna like play e3. They're on autopilot. Bishop f4. They play e3. What could possibly go wrong? It's this. We play g5. The knight and queen defend g5, and with free use of the h pawn. So when we can go here, okay, we just parry the attack on our rook. Now they come back, and we have the free use of our h pawn. White needed to know the very sharp line here, bishop d3 attacking the knight, and then even here, lines where you sacrifice the bishop, or try to. Also all covered in the original video to play this a little bit better. But this is just what happens 9 times out of 10 in this line, and black is already off to a very, very nice start, because now they need to move the h-pawn, or else they will lose the bishop to h4, with it being completely trapped. Only real way to create a square is this. And okay, we attack the knight, and now take on g3, and their nice pretty London setup became a disastrous f takes g3 recapture, which they never want. They want h takes g3, right? We're not just going to take the bishop right now and allow for h takes g3. No, the whole point is we play h5, drawing out their h-pawn, and then take it at the first opportunity before he runs away. F takes g3, weakness, weakness. Now we go to attack them. Here we go. d5, bishop comes out, bishop d6, right? So the bishop comes out just pretty naturally behind that pawn. No knight to e4 as a parry, hitting the bishop and defending the pawn. So because we played this move d5, we force an awkward king f2 or knight to f1. That's the goal. We shouldn't really allow them to play here and here. It's still bad, but we should be able to hit this pawn or hit this pawn with some brutal consequence here. So knight to f1 played, right? Because again, if they give this check, I just step out the way, e7 and f8, doesn't matter. Now they defend the pawn, I just play f5, right? So you didn't let me castle, but I'm just going to eat the bishop. So throwing in that check does nothing. So they play your knight f1 and c5, and the very ambitious move here is queen e2. So the more conservative option would be c3, which most London players will do automatically in response to c5, fortifying here, and then also fortifying b2 in response to queen b6. Now queen e2 defends across the second rank. But the point here is now queen c7 after I move the c5 pawn. This is what I was expecting. And then after king to f2, I would then play f5, then just shutting down any breakthroughs they had. And I would make sure to get castled pretty quickly here. They'd be stuck like this defending g3 for a long time. And eventually I'd break with e5 at the opportune moment when my rooks were ready. So this is kind of what we're looking at most of the time, with just a -2 position for free. In the game, queen e2, and it gave me the option to play c4 before they played c3 and before they could tuck that bishop back in. And so now they got to move that bishop, and I slide out the way, and the bishop is now here. Okay, it looks really good, but now it can't get out really quickly. It needs a square out. It needs bishop c2 or bishop d3 in this position right now. Right, so queen e2 was ambitious, because if I play queen c7, they just have queen f2, and c3, and then here they're less worse than they would have been otherwise. Okay, I mean, they're worse, but less worse than they would have been otherwise. Alas, c4 hit the bishop, and now the bishop can't get out. So they're already, resigning themselves to playing bishop takes h5. They didn't really have anything better. Here, f5 actually was what I would do anyway. Bishop, with no friends from back home able to help, has, its fate is very sealed. So bishop takes h5 was actually a good move before I played f5 and could defend g4. So they made the most of it, but really, again, their position sucks. They're down, even though they got 2 pawns for this bishop, it is -2.2. And their pieces are just not helpful here. So this is pretty easy to play for black. Rook comes back. Okay, f5, almost anything's good here. This is -3.5. Propose the queen trade. Just develop the pieces. They threw this pawn at me, which is kind of the one thing they can do to try to help their queen. Okay, I just, I need to guard a couple squares. Take the pawn, and, yes, my king's a little open and can't castle, but it's only a problem if there's pieces that can get to me, and white absolutely does not have pieces that could get to me. Like, okay, I could have allowed, here another problem to have to deal with, but there's no reason to allow that. I controlled everything. And so we just brought our pieces out, traded queens, and, kept just improving our pieces, and eventually we forced them to help us, because a3 was going to come, really undermining the structure, trying to create a passed pawn one way or another. Like, if they take here, I would take here. So forcing c takes b4 eventually, and then the knight jumps into d3, and the bishop, for all of the knocks on it because of this, came to h5 and helped us control that diagonal for a nice and pretty checkmate. Play this line. Get those London players. Watch that original video for the full repertoire, including white's best options against it. And subscribe. London Crusher always works for you. Awesome. Blackburn Kloosterboer player. Love the name of that indeed. Do tell the moves. if g5 and then bishop d3, what next? Great question. Because if we play d5 there and they take our knight, we can't just recapture. Because there's knight takes g5. So that's covered in the video. G5, bishop d3, we take on f4. And then they take on e4. And then we take on e3. Trade, d5, bishop d3, we play bishop g7 and c5. It's a very interesting position. It's a very interesting position. I like this line. What we're going to do here is work e1 and try to play knight d5. Already knight d5 is playable. I do think. But takes. It is. Because any knight move I would have d6 and then taking here. Should we give it a shot? I'll just play d4. I think, but the thing is takes knight e5 was a little questionable. Now it should not be so questionable. h6. No, let's do it. Let's do it. YOLO. D6 now is very, very, very strong. Yep. Yep. And we just take it. The queen takes. We're not even down a piece. And we've really ruined their development and such. You see, they could play, but okay, this is pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. I don't want to allow just simple trade, check, and escape, right? So... Take, check, escape. I like this knight sacrifice we did. They didn't see it coming. They played rook e1 and just went boom, knight there with the queen. Take, boom. D8. Take this now that before it runs away. I mean, okay, I could have played queen e2. Maybe that was actually even a good move. Any knight move queen e8 mate. I think I actually missed that. Ah, that's a shame. That was actually a really nice move. Okay, takes, knight takes, but knight takes isn't playable. I have knight d6 here, which just ends the game. Forking too many things. Knight is just such a beast. Even though the king is no longer one of them. Bishop takes was necessary, but then I think I followed with queen e2 anyway. Like, bishop needs to move, and then queen e8. Not to mention g7, other things hanging. You like the style. Oh, me too. I like that you like it. What's up, Eric Petersman? What's the point of 3-minute games? You're assuming they... I don't even understand the grammar. That's not a great move. Not that there were a lot of great moves, but this is worse. This is worse. I want you to think about what you've done. Think about it. Check. No, okay, I'll take it. Yeah, not great. Not great. Went well for me. Yeah, nice little setup here. I like it because it looks so innocent, but it's really not. This looks so innocent, but really, I'm really plotting knight d5. I'm really plotting d4 in one go, taking it, knight d5, opening that up, pawn takes d5, knight jumps to f5, you know, all that fun stuff. Even if like I just forced king d8, it can still be worth it. Anyway, everything I did was right. This is already plus 2.3. Knight d5 here was not the best move, although playable. See, better to play d4, have a little bit more space, and then, okay, this was supported really well. Okay, about +7 and such. Nice stuff. Nice stuff, 95 accuracy. Wait, let's get back to the arena. We're 8th in the arena because we're moving slowly. So these people played 4 games. I played 2. Let's pick up the pace. What's the point of asking about 3-minute games? I don't really know what we're talking about. What's up, Resting Forest? We feel sorry for him. Nice YouTube setup. Thank you. Some people like the phone format. I guess the people watching on phones. Some people like the computer format. Which is why I double stream to Twitch and to YouTube. Ooh. Should we go back to this? No, let's play this d4 move. I like this d4. But I did this last time, takes, and I took f7. This is not a good move. So I understand it's not a great move. Better to... I think I'll go here, right? Just queen d4. d5. Okay, well, I don't want this, so I'll just en passant. But now you go knight takes, I guess. Okay. What now? I'll go here. I guess knight c6. Yeah, you need to play it. I wanted to maybe stay on g7 to stop the bishop. But it just strikes me as weird. I'm going to come here. Feels like a good spot to go. Let's castle. Now, let's look towards your king. Knight g5, is it just kind of a situation where we trade everything? Okay, let me play knight c3 while I think about all that. What are we going to do? Knight d5. Yeah, that makes most sense. But okay, you go there. I should probably do this. Let's come... No, queen g3, then you come to f5, right? Okay, let's play rook e1 while I think. I can't be spending too much time here. I berserked this game. Okay, you're really asking me for knight g5. Alright, should I just be that guy who tries to win an endgame? Be that guy. You're really asking me. The thing is, we got the bishop pair. We have 2 bishops for a bishop and knight. If our technique is chef's kiss worthy, we would win. If not, then not. Let's see how our technique is. You come into c4. Let's play b3. Let's keep you out of c4, right? And I played a3 and b3. I didn't want either of these. Hard to see what they really do. They can use this square. Kind of annoying. Actually, yeah, where am I going? e4 then? Yeah, e4 and then I'll double. Alright, let's be faster though. Okay, we took that away. Oh, knight d5 was a good option there. Alright, let's keep cruising in. what I wanted. Pressure, pressure. Can't move the pawn because of the bishop. Oh, got him. I would hardly call that technique. But we did get him. In fact, did I just win a piece here? Yes, I did. You can't go rook d8 because I... Oh, no, you had that. Can I trap the knight? No. Yes, maybe. Took away that. You have to go here now. Bishop c4. Yes, 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 yes. I'm kind of impressing myself. Keeping the pin. Bishop b6. Rook d3. Trade that. Now we go. Run, run, run. Don't get in my way, please. Don't get in my way. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. New pawn unlocked. There we go. We rolling. We rolling. Don't go knight b5. Nice, 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 nice. GG. Yeah, so I mean, we had like an advantage in this endgame, like, especially here. We built up our position. You know, we control the squares. Didn't even have knight 5 at this point. Here, probably knight d5 was stronger, but okay, it was strong when I did it too. Pressure on c7 here was actually pretty brutal, but they did just blunder a piece. That is check. And from there, I don't know. It's just we were up a piece and we rolled and we got him. And didn't flag. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. Yo, Dan, subscribed at tier 1 on Twitch. Appreciate you. Alfredo HM, subscribed on YouTube. Shout out to you. Spanish is not my native language. It is English. Je parle un petit peu de français parce que je suis canadien. Mais no hablo español. C'est triste. Bushgas Gambit, c'est joyeux. C'est incroyable. Oh, sacre bleu. They didn't accept my Gambit. I'm so funny. Sweet trade roll. May. What do we got? Knight g4? d4, take. No. Alright, I'll just cancel. Bro just played d3, bishop e2. I mean, come on now. Here, interesting. Well, so now how do I want to take it? Because before I was going to be like, definitely queen. Now, maintenant, je veux capturer avec la knight. Je veux capturer avec la knight. Very nice prophylaxis combined with the aggression last game. Thank you. Aggression combined with the prophylaxis is my middle name. Appreciate it. Where are we going? F4, E3. Both seem fun. Here and like take it. Is that really like how we want to live our life? Here is like okay. Yeah, maybe it is how we want to live our life. Because I want that tempo to like keep coming after you. I want to keep coming after you. Don't run away over there. Ooh. Ooh. So you have chosen death. So you have chosen death. Okay. Don't let him castle just yet. The problem is this threat, right? Alright, I gotta go here to stop it. Knight d7. Just keep sacrificing things. Grab a2. Yeah, okay, wait. Poorly played on my part. Alright, let's do this a little bit better. Ooh, go there. This is annoying. Where do I go to not trade queens? Damn, I gotta trade queens. Oh, but then b3. Damn, this 1800 just pranked me. Wait, trade b3, rook e2. I can hang on, definitely. Didn't even want that. I'm down a pawn. Not good, not good. Oh my goodness, bro. I lose. That's forked. Can't take it. Brutal. Oh well. Yeah, I could just cover the dark square. Yeah, no. Well done. Well done by them. Not well done by me. I just got a Lee Chess challenge from a username called Super Sigma Alpha Bro with a money sign and a Myanmar flag. Love to see it. Unfortunately, we gotta win this arena. We just suffered a setback. But we're still gonna get there. Hello, Sigma Male, DD, Perito Hiker, and Real Phoenician. Aw. Appreciate it. Do I have a demanding job? Like my real job? Is it demanding? I like what I do ever since I left Deutsche Bank. Work now at a small trading firm. I really do. It's much cooler work. So I wouldn't call it that. Like, I work hard. Just in terms of sheer hours, sure. But it's not a word I would use to describe it, you know? It's cool stuff. It's cool stuff. Honestly, here... Honestly, you can take f6. And I probably shouldn't have even played h6 for that. Like, it's better to have this pawn tied to the king. Oh, wow. Didn't even want it. Okay, attacks here, though. No, but my position is just very nice working around this big center. Didn't even want it. So I play e4, and let's just keep improving. e4, what do we got? Take, do I take this one? 4, take. Too lazy, take. I need to do something eventually. Alright. I mean, the hope is that the knight will move, and then with the bishop trade, then I'll just win that knight. Right? Like the queen and rook will just win that guy. I think that could happen. If I take here, what happens? Bishop moves, then I take g2. I mean, that has to be good also. I guess take f5. Maybe it gets a little confusing. Queen f5. Let's just keep this. They have knight d4 as an option, but okay, I'll just grab a pawn. Knight e4. No, I just take it. There's nothing to it. Yeah, rooks are very well positioned. Knight h4, I just take... Oh, knight f5, they hang on? Yeah, they do. If I were to just move it, then they would likewise move it. Then I would go queen f4. Attack the knight and the queen. They'd play g3. Well, so by that logic, I should keep the bishop in line with the h3 pawn. Okay, but they don't go for it. Interesting. I also had bishop takes h3, potentially, as an option. Alright, but we're just going to grab this pawn. Knight moves, and I'll probably just grab another pawn. I think you had to go for this. Even if it was losing a piece, it was more challenging, and here you're definitely going to lose the game. So you're going to be down one pawn and then two, and just into an endgame. Yeah, I think that was the best option, but now I'm just up 2 pawns. Okay, now come into e3. No, knight on e3, good piece. No doubt about that. Let's go here. Unless I just invited this, which might have been actually really stupid. Might have just been really stupid. Yeah, knight g3. Nope, they didn't want to do it. Oh my goodness. Don't tell me rook takes d5 and I get mated. Oh my god, I got away with it. Oh my goodness. That was crazy. That was crazy. That was legitimately crazy. Yeah. Takes, rook c8. Like, my king here is not... Like, the bishop on h7. Don't come all the way back to h7 unless you need to. It blocked my king's escape. Wow. No, that's crazy. No, this should do it. This should do it. King should help out here. Although I do like their f4 move to cut me off. But, yeah, we're looking pretty good. Which way to go? This is a good way. And then in. Now, bishop has a moment to come around. Let's go here. Don't stalemate. Okay, we're good. Nice. GG. GG. No, I mean, it was all winning. Like, it was up a couple of pawns, but the moment I'm talking about was this one, where I play rook e7, because I'm like, oh, I don't want them to take and go rook c7, even though that's pretty harmless. Like, I just come here. I'm like, let me cover that. But then, obviously, now take, and rook c8 is way worse. My bishop's on h7, and I can't come here. And I'm just mated. But they missed it as well, fortunately. And okay, I was able to win this. Brett Joyner with the subscription on YouTube. Appreciate you. So, the Mets are up 1-0 on the Dodgers. Do I miss Chicago or is New York City good for me? Great question. Both. I love the U Chicago. I loved my time there. I had a great time there. I had great friends there, etc. It was the one place I could go where I was cool for playing chess. You know, captain of U Chicago chess, quarterback at Alabama. Same thing. No, people there were genuinely like, I'm kidding, of course, just slightly. But people there were definitely genuinely, as they give me an option to grab my pawn back, I'll take that option. It's a little weird. Could have thrown in a bishop. I should have thrown in a bishop g4. Would have made it spicy. A lot of things could hang. Send an a3 check if they move their queen. Okay, here. Anyway, I had a great time at U Chicago. People there were genuinely so interesting and intellectually curious and nerds. You know, the reputation where fun goes to die as I blunder f4. No, I didn't. I have a queen check and I could save it. But I didn't see it. Okay, knight e4. Let's play. We can leave d5 hanging for a second as we attack the bishop. See, we undid the pin. Jumped in. Bishop h4. Yeah, it kind of runs out of room a little bit. So we come back to e3. Could play the very simple bishop e6. Other options include queen g6, which is a little bit more my style. Let's say they take d5 and I take h3. And then they take e4. Then I would be disappointed that I played that, because take, and then that's not good. Right, so... Okay, let's play rook d8. I like this, because it is not quite bishop e6, and it keeps this option open. So now let's say queen g6, knight e4. Still can't go pawn e4, because my rooks aren't coordinated. But I could go bishop h3. In that case, they would play knight g5. It's still not working the way I wanted it to. Okay, no worries. Let's just take on d2. Bishop f5 is a good move. No, but then the knight comes into f3, yeah. Knight coming to f3 would actually be kind of a hindrance. So let's come here, queen g6, bishop c2. Okay, I come here. Okay, they play f4, come back, bishop c7. Still got this threat. Not sure that was totally the way I wanted it to work. Whoa. G4. Spicy. No, let's try to dodge it. Bishop b6. Bishop b6 and what, though? Bishop b6 and what? And that, right? What do we actually got? Are we just messing around, or we got something? No threat, because of the pin. Oh, the pin, the pin, the pin, the pin, the pin. The pin. Oh, the pin again. Oh, don't do him like that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. They would have been okay if they played king g2 and then queen g3, I think. But they went here, pinned. Oh, we got him. Didn't get that fun goes to die rep because it's hard to graduate. Yes, it's a lot of work and it's tough and it's difficult. Absolutely. There is no grade inflation. There's absolutely grade deflation. The classes are difficult, and they have no problem, professors they are, with just like C averages or worse because of how hard the classes can be, even with the best and brightest taking them. So yeah, it's tough. I will say the real world feels a lot easier relative to U Chicago. I will do nothing harder in my life, I can guarantee it, than like try to pass CS 121 at U Chicago. Or even like some of those econ classes. Bro, oh my god. Anyway. U Chicago, great time. I miss it. But I'm a New Yorker, you know? Can I move this knight and trap this bishop? Like, I have a lot of good options here. Like, playing like e5, pressure here. But what if I just, like, move it and then trap it? Is that, like, on the table? Am I cuckoo? Am I cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Oh, here. Just be like, no. We're not making any trades. I slid out the way, slid out the way. You have to take that knight. You come out here. And then you fiend Keto. Right? Because you can't come all the way back home. Should I take this before I have to play g4? Maybe. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So let's just do this. Trade. I've got a number of options here. This is one of them. But New York is my home. Yeah, I'm a New Yorker. Born in Manhattan, raised in Westchester, suburbs just north of the city. Live now in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. I mean, they named the neighborhood after me, Williamsburg. It's funny, you know, I work remote now. Could live anywhere else. Especially considering, you know, this is by far the highest rent around. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like if I moved away from here, I would always miss it. Ooh. Don't go there. How does this keep happening to my poor opponents? How does it keep happening? Don't want you bothering me. Okay, but we're up a queen. Lest we forget, there is a queen to separate us. Lest we forget. This is hanging. Check. Here. The fun died for the right guy, yeah. It did. What do we got? Here. Where fun goes to die. We own that. We own it. And we make the self-deprecating jokes about it. It's fun. Oh, close one. Okay, we're back up there in the arena. This guy, I beat this guy. I need another crack at him, though, because he's flying. He's flying. We need to get in another game real quick. What am I studying? I already graduated from U Chicago. I studied data science. I graduated 3 years ago. Almost exactly 3 years ago, actually, now. I studied data science and public policy, and data science is what I do now. Playstyle is Gambit full. Good question. What's the point of making money if not to live in New York City? Wow. Could not have possibly said it better myself. Love that. I mean, no hate on other places in the world, but could not have said it better. Walrus Gambit against Mr. Quinlan? Oh, yeah. Oh, this guy was prepped against the walrus. He's like, don't even test me. Here's my walrus prep. Takes, no capture, but come back. Oh, and come back again. Whoa. That's something. That is something. Okay, let's castle. Gambit glasses on. That is an interesting move, because if I castle, I would lose a7. But the bishop is not attacked. I brought the queen right there, so I could just play c5. Could also bring my knight to hit here. I'll just play c5. Should I gambit another pawn? It's not even a gambit. Queen takes g5, bishop h6, and I would win the bishop on c1. That would be pretty crazy. Let's just castle. Because they could just go here. Queen g3. Now, let me ask you some questions about c2. Let me ask some questions. I have a few questions for you. And your lack of development. Ooh. I really wanted you to just spend a move on it. I didn't want to actually, like, take it. Don't call my bluff like that. Not nice. Take here. I mean, okay, I could. I would no longer be up at the pawn. Let's play like f6. Like, I could play around this pawn, try and win it, but this seems more my style. He takes f6, bishop d6. Otherwise, if they don't take it, I'll just take it myself. And then bishop d6, like I said. What do they want with e3? They want to escape. So, let's say bishop e2 or bishop d3 even. I would trade. Knight f6, castles, bishop d6. They go with that. But now maybe d4. Okay, wait, let me take. They want bishop here, right? Okay, what we're gonna do, honestly, is just this move a6. I just need to keep him out of here for a second, and then I'm just gonna run him right over with d4. Because once d4 happens, then I just crack open this line. But I feel like if I played d4 as bishop e5, maybe I should have just done that and just queen f7, right? Honestly, I think it's fine. Because here... Okay, d4. We're running a little low on time. Gotta watch out for, like... Ooh, no. No way. Oh my god, I didn't see it. I did not see that. Oh. Wow. Wow. Both rooks hanging? Oh, no way, I can give check. Oh! What? They just resigned? Wait, they resigned. White resigned. What? Okay, what? What? That had to have been a misclick? What's near the resignation button? The draw offer button? What? So weird. Let me say, Mr. Quinlan. Oh, he just responded to me. He wrote, pleased to make a nice showing, FM, at W. Grafe. Thank you so much, sir. You had me. Why did you resign? GG. Here. How can I show? No, I don't know how to. I don't know what happened. My dude is just that respectful. He wrote, I just get too excited, LOL. That was a little odd. Oh, yeah, because he played rook takes h7 and hung the rook, and so then resigned without waiting to see what I would do, yeah. You're right, that's what happened. But like, wow. Alright, we were second in this arena. Thank you all for joining. Make sure that first link right there is the link tree. Go to linktree/wgrafe. All the gambits that I play are right here. You want to know what to do against the French? That's that one, as labeled. You want to know what to do against the Caro? That's that one, as labeled. Against the London, that's that one, as labeled. Click on that. You'll find full repertoire video of everything to do with the Lichess study, right up from the link tree, and the whole playlist here of my other games in this, including me playing against title players, etc. Join the Discord for notifications on when we go live, when we post new videos, and we share games, discuss opening theory, opening ideas, etc. It's awesome stuff. Great community there. Otherwise, yeah, this has been my first stream with a broken ankle. Chess boxing journey has taken a twist. Here, y'all want to see it? What we got? Here's my walking boot. It's a walking boot that I can't even really walk in yet. I still am not allowed to put weight on it. Here. Oh, look at these bad boys. Yeah. Appreciate y'all. I'll be seeing a lot more of you guys. I have to stay here. Take care.